Okay, on the bottom left of your notes, on that left column, I'd like you to fill in this section, and our title is about a converse. Now, you're going to be filling in what a converse is after I show you an example. Okay, so let's suppose you have a conditional, that's an if-then statement, and the conditional statement is if P, then Q. Then a conditional statement is if Q, then P. So a converse is just taking the Q and the P and switching the order. What I'd like you to do right now is fill in your definition of a converse, and then we'll look at an example. So let's suppose they ask you to write the converse of a conditional statement. The first thing you need to know is, well, what's the conditional statement? Okay, so let's say for the P then Q is, if an animal is a bat, then it can fly. So their conditional statement, their first if P then Q, is if an animal's a bat, then it can fly. Now for the converse, I want you to think for a moment about what that's going to mean. First, you're going to have to identify the hypothesis, then identify the conclusion, and then switch them. Okay, so I'm going to move them around, and you're not going to write if it can fly, because that doesn't make sense. What's it? So I'm going to actually write if an animal, and I know that's a part of the hypothesis, but that's not the big part. If an animal can fly, then it is a bat. Now, we're using a lot of our, you're going to have to use your use of English here and kind of make the sentence make sense. And I want to bring you back to that idea where we had that model. Okay, we had the P in here and the Q out here. And I want you to think about what this says. The converse says, if an animal can fly, then it is a bat. Okay, so then it is a bat is the Q. I'll put that on the outside. Is the bat an only animal that you know that can fly? I can think of a few animals that might be upset. Well, a bird can fly, right? How about a penguin? Penguins can fly. Well, some penguins, not all penguins. How about owls? Owls can fly. How about flying fish? Yeah, bet you didn't think about a flying fish. How about flying pigs? Wait, no, there's no such thing as flying pigs. That is what a converse is. So in this case, all of these examples that we came up with, the penguin, not the flying pig, all of these are called counterexamples. This is an important word I really want you to put in there. A counterexample is an example that proves the statement is false. All right, so a counterexample, such as the owl, the penguin, most penguins, some penguins, flying fish, and birds, these are all examples that prove that the converse in this case is false.